Jake!
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, Velocities in Music. Going to conclude our set today with another request from Brandon Kester, a good friend of ours, who hopefully will be on the show today. He's a big contributor here. The Bravery, The Sun and the Moon. This album came out in 2007?
Somewhere around there, I honestly don't remember.
I honestly don't know, yeah. But it's not the newest Bravery album that's out. And it's my first exposure to the Bravery, which is kind of a more poppy artist, but I'll let Tom kind of talk about what the Bravery is.
Well, this is their second album. Their first was just their self-titled release. And to kind of compare what this, as a sophomore effort, sounds like with their debut, their debut actually had a lot more electronic stuff going on. To me, they always sounded like kind of a less dancey, less poppy Killers. Maybe mix a little bit of the Strokes in there. Also, you know, they have some elements of that kind of punk stuff, like what am I thinking of? Maximo Park, Future Heads. Watch our Future Heads review. We kind of mentioned that, but these guys are much more geared towards the pop side of things than those last couple bands that I mentioned, but not quite as poppy as the Killers. That's about the best way I could do describing them. But as far as this album goes, I feel like they really, more so than their debut, went for a kind of mainstream radio sound, which I don't really like. I actually like this album. I just don't like that they stepped their sound in that direction. Now, I think that this album still has a lot of really good songwriting, a lot of good vocal melodies, good guitar, but it's just, I feel like it's a little bit of a step in the wrong direction. Still good, though.
I feel like some of the best parts about this album for me, Tom, were the great instrumentals. I thought that these guys, like, the guitar work is very good, and just overall they just show that they know how to play their instruments well. They did a good job structuring the album. I like how it starts with an intro, and I think the closer is a nice change up from the rest of the songs, and I think it closes the album well. And I like the production overall and how tight everything sounds. The only issue I had with the productions really is, and this is kind of part and parcel with the style of being in kind of the pop rock genre, is with the drums. It was just way too high end, very sharp, and I listened to this on pretty good headphones, and it kind of hurt my ears. I didn't like that. That was the only thing that kind of held me back with the production. Otherwise, I'd give the production a perfect score. But one thing, and I always harp on this, and I'm going to do it again here, and I just get really angry every time it happens, and I just get fuming. I'm just fuming because the stupid-ass song structures are so repetitive. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. I'm done. I'm done with it. I just don't want it anymore. I don't want to see music doing this ever again. I'm so sick of it. Every single song on this album, with the exception of the intro, follows a verse, chorus, bridge, chorus format. I don't like it. It makes it so that at the very beginning of the song, you know how the songs are going to go throughout the song. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad structure. It's just when you do it, when every song on your album is the same structure, it becomes very predictable.
All you need is a few interspersed in there to break it up.
Circa Survive. Their album, Blue Sky Noise, that we reviewed a number of episodes ago, did a great job of incorporating different song structures and even time signatures in there that really help kind of mix that up. The Bravery is just not cutting it when it comes to that. That's my major criticism of this album, is that these songs are predictable. 1 or 2, it leads right into the big single, Believe, and then 3, 4, 5, all follow that same structure. Track 6, Time Won't Let Me Go, the next big single. It's almost just a cookie cutter song. It's like they just said, oh, here's the Bravery sound, cookie cutter, cookie cutter, cookie cutter, cookie cutter.
And that's why, as individual songs, if you listen to just one of them at a time, it's
awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying that I feel like they moved towards more of the mainstream format, because it's like they were trying to make an album of radio hits. It's like they were trying to make an album of singles.
Right.
And as singles, if you put any one of these songs, almost any one of these songs on the radio, they'd probably be one of the best songs on the like pop rock stations. But when you put them all together as an album, they kind of weaken each other.
And I mean, the song structure is also just everything's so, it feels so restricted and contained, and like, these guys are clearly great instrumentalists, but they're limiting themselves so much that the band's not reaching its full potential. And it's really sad, because everything about all the instrumentals and the vocals even are good. The only other like criticism I really had was the lyrics at sometimes seemed pretty immature, but at sometimes were very nice. Like the song Tragedy Bound in the Ocean. And it's just, why can't it be consistent with the lyrics? I mean, I want more variety in the song structures, and less and more continuity in the lyrics, I guess, is what my main two criticisms would be of this. But my favorite tracks were Time Won't Let Me Go, the second single. I thought that if you just look at it as a song, is an excellent song. And then track 7, Tragedy Bound, track 8, Fistful of Sand, and then the closer, track 12, The Ocean, is excellent.
Yeah, really, like, all those songs are good. I like almost all of these songs, but just as a whole album, yeah. But I'm going to pick track 5, Bad Son, track 7, Tragedy Bound, track 10, Split Me Wide Open, and track 12, The Ocean.
Yeah, and overall, this is a solid album. Don't get me wrong. It's a solid release, and probably one of the best releases in the past decade in this style. They could be so much more. So this is going to keep me from being in like 70s and 80s. I'm just going to go with 68.
I'm going to say 72.
Very solid. So, good album, could be better though. They got some work to do. Tell us what you think. Do the simple song structures, like I just screamed about, does that bother you? And do you see my point in kind of what Tom and I are saying about how that limits the artist? And let us know at www.velocitiesandmusic.com. Got anything else?
Nope.
That's the Bravery, The Sun and the Moon. Thank you, Brandon, for the request. It's a good album. I enjoyed listening to it. And that's it. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are Velocities and Music, moving music critique forward.